Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have FEARNUN. What up, man?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, sir, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. Before we get started, why don't you tell everybody the movie that I just mentioned, man? What's the name of it?
The name of the movie I just put together is called "Stranded in the Bottom," and it's almost like I meant it to be a short film, but it wound up getting a little bit longer, so it's like kind of close to a feature length, but not exactly, a feature length movie.
Yeah, really enjoyed it, man. Where can everyone find it before we even get started?
Thanks, man. Thanks for liking it, man. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in "Stranded in the Bottoms" the movie, and it should pop up. Or you can go on, just type in ING Films, and then once you get on ING Films, it should be the first video that pop up. If not, then you can just search through the videos and you'll see it.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you putting out a good product, man. And definitely looking forward to seeing what you got coming up in the future. But let's go all the way back, man. Where did you grow up?
Thanks, man. I grew up in Inglewood, California, man. Born and raised.
What was a young FEARNUN like?
Oh man, young FEARNUN was just real observant, man. It was crazy. I grew up in Inglewood. I went to Inglewood Elementary, Woodworth Elementary. Where I grew up in the bottoms. It's like everything that I saw, like my brothers, they was already in the life before I can even recall what life was. My relatives, they was already, gang banging too. So that's pretty much all I saw, like growing up. So pretty much like later on down the line, I'll say like earlier, like 8 or 9 years old, I started claiming, CRENSHAW MAFlA at a young age. And then it only lasted probably like a little bit after I got out of high school before I realized, it's kind of a waste of time. Let me try to, dig into something else, you know what I'm saying? Because growing up, like in the early 80s and all that stuff, in late 80s and early 90s, like a lot of us didn't think that we was going to make it past 18 and 21. So after I passed 21, I'm like, dang, I'm still here. So let me figure out what I can do, you know what I'm saying?
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started figuring out like, okay, I think I'm going to take this music serious. So I started doing music and taking that serious, and I hooked up with a few people from Inglewood that I was already kicking it with from high school, at Morningside, and we started doing music together and got a group together called the Scanless Pack. And it was cool, man. We thought that we was going to make it big. We was networking with the Road Dogs at the time when they came out with their album it wasn't under Who Banging Records, they was under New Tribe. But
shout out to New Tribe, man. They had a lot of people under their roster. I know Yuckmouth was
they
there.
Did.
Yeah, they had a lot.
Yeah, they had a lot, but Mac 10 was presenting that album, you know what I'm saying, because they were from the same hood. And I don't know how that happened like that, but I'm pretty sure how business go. He probably couldn't put them under Who Banging Records at the time, so he probably linked them up with New Tribe. But we did music with them. We did a lot of stuff with them, you know what I'm saying? And I was just surprised, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, these dudes is hot right now, you know what I'm saying? They had that single bouncing on the radio. And then after that, I winded up getting a TV show on public access in 2002.
Okay.
So at the time I was doing the music, when I was linking up with the Road Dogs, their album that came out like around 1999. So me and the homies from the group, we was already like doing our own thing, but we'll do music with them every now and then too, and that was like in 99. So years later, we were still doing our thing. We put out a CD in the Inglewood Swap Meet. And then I wound up getting a TV show on public access in 2002, and I just started figuring out how to flip that, you know what I'm saying? And I winded up networking with a lot of, cats in the game just by having that TV show more than I was doing it with the music. You know what I'm saying?
What was public access like back then, man? Because I remember it. I'm almost 50, so but to someone who doesn't know what or remember what public access is, talk a bit about that game, man, because that's some early on podcasting type shit.
It was, that was like podcasting before podcasting was around. Public access was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was like public access was one of those things that'll show up on TV when you flipping through channels, and you just might catch something real interesting that'll lock you in. And then once you locked in, it's hard to catch those shows again, or those videos that you saw. It's just like you got to just stay flipping through the channels on public access, because you're going to catch something good. It's going to be a crazy dude on there hosting the show, doing something crazy, or it might be a dope underground music video from an artist that's from LA that you ain't never heard of that's looking active, You be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Who is this? So, like the public access, they had different shows. It was like cooking shows, ministry shows, gospel shows, but it was a handful of hip hop shows. It was only like 5 of them I can count on my hand, and I used to always try to catch those, So it was like they had variety shows with people that did acting and did music and did, just regular business work, like they own their own business. And so I winded up getting a TV show on public access, and I winded up making a hip hop show out of it because I already knew so many cats that rap. So I was like, I'm gonna make this show and I'm gonna put all my homies on there, and then that's what I'm gonna do, So I did that, in the beginning, like in the first year, I did it. I was putting all my friends that I knew that rap. I rapped at the time, but I never did showcase the fact that I rapped. I was just the host, and the producer of the show, just getting people on there. And then I started like always running into people that was in the game whenever I went out to the club. So I started bringing my camera because I knew I had the TV show. So I'm like, shoot, I might as well bring this camera whenever I go out to these clubs in Hollywood, because I always run into somebody, and if I can get like at least a drop or something on camera and bring it back to the TV show, that'll make my show look good. You know what I'm saying? It won't look so underground. So I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? And then I started, I started talking to these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I got this show, man, say something, and then they'll do it. And then next thing you know, I'll come back to the studio and boom, load up some stuff, and people be thinking that it's in the game, I'm like, oh man, this is working, because the people at the studio be like, yo, your ratings are going up, everybody's watching your show. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. All right. So I had people like Little John on the show. I had the Yin Yang Twins on there 2 different times.
That's dope.
I know, yeah. I had the Dog Pound on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was crazy just because of the stuff that I was doing. So like the one with the hookup with the Dog Pound, how I got that was I went to because I was producing shows out of 4 different studios in LA, one in Hollywood, one in South Central, Manchester and Western, one in Westchester, and one in where was the other one? And one in the CRENSHAW Mall. So I was doing some editing in the editing bay at the one in the Hollywood studio. And every time I went to the Hollywood studio to do some editing or do a show, those people there will be like, yo, I know this cat that do music. He's like a manager. And I'll be telling them about you. Whenever I see him, if I see him again, I'm going to give him your number. I'm going to take his number and give him to you. I was like, all right, cool. So one day, because I kept on asking, I was like, what is his name? And they couldn't remember his name. So one day they was like, yo, that guy I was telling you about, he's in the editing bay. Hey, I want to tell him that you're here, and I want y'all to talk to each other. So I was like, all right. So when he told me his name, I was like, what's his name? He was like, his name is Big A. He's like a manager for the Dog Pound and stuff.
That's the homie to this day, man.
Yeah.
Him and I share the same name, literally, man. Shout out Big A, man.
Shout out Big A. I'll never forget that. I went up in there, and when I talked to him, he was asking me what I did, and I told him I produced a hip-hop show over here. And he was like, okay, yeah, man, we need to hook up, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how he talk. And I was like...
that was a good impression.
Yeah, he be tripping me. He be tripping me out. So I got his number, and I gave him my number. We exchanged numbers. And I told him what I did. So after that, he said he was gonna get at me, right? So I didn't think nothing of it. So I called him one day and I was like, yo, I'm finna be producing the show. I'm finna record another show on this such and such date. If you know, come through. I just told him to come through. I was like, come through, you know what I'm saying? I want you to get on the show and talk, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, all right. So so I go to the show and I got like a few guests already, like, you know, invited over there. So when I get there, Big A is standing right there, you know, on the phone in front of the studio, and I'm like, oh man, he showed up. I was like super excited. I was like, oh, got out the car and was like, what's up, Big A? And he was like, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I told you I was gonna support you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
He's a real one, dog. When it comes to supporting underground artists, he's a real one. He did something similar for me also. He used to own a record shop in Compton on Alondra and Castlegate. Right off of, Atlantic, and it was called Underworld Connection. And I was a nobody. I'm still a nobody, but I was definitely a nobody back then. We're talking like mid '90s. And he bought a bunch of my tapes and put it in his thing, just off the strength of he liked the music, man. And music career didn't go anywhere. But to this day, I remember, you know, and I thankfully I know him to this day. We met later on down the line through one of our mutual friends, and man, that shout out Big A, man. If the people, I just like to keep those living, those people who do stuff behind the scenes, man. I gotta definitely give them their props, man. But let's talk about Stranded in the Bottoms, man, because I want everyone out there to check that out. It's on ING Films on Instagram. It's a dope piece, man. Fire one up, sip something, and just, you know, or just watch it and relax and enjoy it, man. But what inspired it?
You know what? It was real spontaneous because, like, I was gonna shoot something in the bottom, but then I got word that Lil Hawk was out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, first people was telling me like he's finna get out.
Lil Hawk from Banging on Wax. Shout out Lil Hawk, man.
Yeah. Shout out Lil Hawk. You know what I'm saying? That was my homeboy before he even got locked up. You know what I'm saying? So when they said that he was getting out, I was like, okay, all right. So then they was like, he's out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I forgot how I got in contact. I think it was through my homeboy. He was like, I got his number. You know what I'm saying? If you know, I can give it to you right there. I was like, all right, well, give it to me. Give it to me. So he gave me the number. I called him up, and I think I just thought about the movie, like in the movie title, like the day prior. So when I called him up, he was like, what's up, man? So I just laid it down to him like, yeah, man, I'm glad you out and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, man, I'm about to be shooting this movie, man. I was like, it's going to be called Stranded in the Bottom, about this chick that runs out of gas inside of a dangerous neighborhood. And she has to figure out a way to get out of there, you know, unscathed. So he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, I want you to be in it. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I got some lines for you. So he was like, all right, well, I'm with it. So that's how that came about, you know what I'm saying? So once he said he was with it, I just went like, I just started getting started on it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, you know, he said it's a go. I don't want to lose his interest. So I'm going to get it started now so we can get it going while he's excited about it and all that stuff. So it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because I just threw out like a quick little like post on Instagram, just saying that be looking out. A film project is coming soon with ING Films and Lil Hawk. And then, like, I just started getting a big response just from that. You know what I'm saying? It was just a post. And people was like, oh, man, that's going to be good. Oh, that sounds like that's going to be good. Then I had somebody all the way from damn, where's that place at? It's real super far. It's like way in Europe somewhere. Oh, Romania. Way in Romania that's reached out to me and was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan of the Banging on Wax and Lil Hawk, and I want to do a movie poster for you, you know what I'm saying, if that's what you plan on doing. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying, let's get it going. Damn. So he was like, send me some pictures. So I sent him some pictures, and then like a few days later, like 3 or 4 days later, he sent me a poster, and it looked super legit. So that inspired me to take it even further too. I'm like, okay, we got to do this, because I was like, that poster looked too hard.
Lil Hawk's reach and Banging on Wax reach is very, very strong, man, all the way out in Europe, dude, in the middle of nowhere. Romania wanted to help out because of Lil Hawk. Tell us about what it was like. I mean, even before we go into what it was like working with Lil Hawk, man, talk to us about, you know, your relationship with him before, during, and after his 26-year prison stint.
Okay, so my relationship with Lil Hawk before that, you know what I'm saying, was always, I'll see him in Inglewood all the time, you know what I'm saying? and we was already from the same, you know what I'm saying, same area. So, like, but he's older, you know what I'm saying? He's older than me, so he already had his age group that he was already hanging with, that he was already doing better with, because my that's like my brother's generation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just a little kid watching them growing up, in this environment, you know what I'm saying? At the time, you know what I'm saying? So while I was going in Morningside, you know what I'm saying, I was already like active. I used to be skipping school, go through the bottoms, hang out with them, Spider, the other homies, Baby Odie, you know what I'm saying? Noodles, Lil Hawk would be out there, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. He'll even come on campus, you know what I'm saying? Like just walk through there like it was nothing while we was at school, you know what I'm saying? And be saying what's up to teachers that he used to go to school with up there, and saying what's up to us, what's happening, homie? And walking through there. This all at the time that the Damu Riders was circulating through everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like tripping out, like as a high school kid, like I'm already coming to school bumping into music, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, look, they go the big homies walking through here like it's nothing. Like, these are straight stars. So he used to sometimes I'll be on Century catching the bus. He'll like see me just patrolling through the hood and give me a ride to school just because, you know what I'm saying, he don't want me to be out there slipping. So he gets locked up. I finish school. I do my rap. I started taking the rap stuff serious. Now that he gets out, I mean, I stayed in contact with him too. Like every now and then, somebody will have him on the phone while he was locked up, and I'll get a chance to say what's up with him, say what's up to him. So fast forward, he gets out. It was all good once we, I laid the concept down, and he was all on board with it.
That's dope, man. What was it like working with him, man?
It was cool, you know what I'm saying? He was excited about it because I could tell this was his first time acting, you know what I'm saying? And my approach to him, you know what I'm saying, was just like all the other actors I experienced with, I'm just like guiding them through it, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, wow, he felt like a real actor, So he was taking direction good. He did a good job, knocking the scenes out, and we got it through, he was wondering what it was going to be like, and then when it dropped, he he liked it. And then the response from other people, was telling him it was good. So he was like, yeah, this is dope.
What went into making the soundtrack, which is also fire? My favorite song is when Lil Hawk actually pulls up. That shit is hard. I don't know who did that beat, who did like all that. That song was hard.
Yeah, the soundtrack is gonna be coming out soon. I'm gonna drop it coming up real soon too. That idea came from Lil Hawk while we was out there filming. We was out there filming. He was like, "Yo, my nigga." He pulled me to the side and was like, "Yo, my nigga, hey, we need to do a soundtrack for this movie too." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking nothing of it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I'll start, keep on, trying to get the movie together. And then he came at me a few more times and was like, "Yo, hey, on real though, we need to get that soundtrack though." He was like, "I got songs, my nigga." He was like, "I got about 4 songs already." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like tripping out because I'm like now starting to listen to what he's saying, because I'm like, if he's willing to just, offer me 4 or 5 songs to make a soundtrack, I'm like, that's golden. You know what I'm saying? How many people can get like unreleased songs from a person like Lil Hawk? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then saying, "Yo, this you make this happen." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? I ain't never did nothing like that, but I'm gonna try to make it happen, So I'm gonna put that together. I already got the songs that Lil Hawk want me to use. So all I'm trying to do is just figure out who else that I know that got that type of sound that I can put with the soundtrack, because I don't want to just put any type of song on there. You know what I'm saying? It got to sound exactly like the other songs that's on there. You know what I'm saying? Like on some straight West Coast gangster shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. My last question for you: what was your favorite part of filming the movie?
Let me see.
Making the movie, not just filming it, but your favorite part of the whole process, I should say.
Oh, okay. I would say maybe filming it. You know what I'm saying? Because writing it and coming up with the movie didn't really take too long. It only took me like a couple of days to really figure out, a solid idea and concept of the movie. But filming it was fun because I got a chance to, like get these actors scenes, together and get it done and watch them, do something that they wasn't used to doing. You know what I'm saying? None of them is real actors out there, and they never been in a movie. So for them to, participate and be excited about it was dope.
That's cool, man. I know you have stuff coming up in the future. This is only the beginning. Give us an idea of what you have in the near future coming up.
Oh man, I got some stuff. The stuff that I'm about to release next is going to be 2 music videos. 3 music videos. 2 new Lil Hawk videos. That song that you was talking about when he rode up in the car.
Yeah, that's the one.
We did a video for that, so that's going to drop. We did another video yesterday in downtown LA, and that one is called That Life, and that one is dope too. And then after that, I got a music video I'm finna drop, for a scene that's in the movie. When I was running, after the dude in the bottoms, before he gunned me down, that song got them running while I'm gunning because they see me coming. I just did a video for that, so that's gonna be getting dropped too. And as far as movies, I'm thinking about I'm not really sure if I'm going to do a part 2 for Stranded in the Bottoms or create a series. A lot of people feel better about me doing a series.
I like that idea. Short little 10, 15 minutes, 20, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even got to be like, a full thing where people got to sit down and watch again. It can be little pieces, that'll add up to something, at the end, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a surprise on there, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think, oh, man, your character got smoked, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to bring them back, we going to, you know what I'm saying, bring it in a way where it looks slick. I got another movie that I'm going to be working on, a few more movies. One called Mark My Words that's about to come on Tubi pretty soon in a few months. And I wrote and directed and, produced the whole thing. And it's with Rick Hard too. I don't know if you're familiar with Rick Hard.
Legendary promoter here in LA. He's been promoting since the 90s, man. Small world, man. We all, man. Yeah, that's dope. Shout out Rick Hard, man. Still doing his thing, huh?
Yo, me and him. I put him in a movie, in a short film called it's called One Night in Black China. It's called One Night in Black China. And I put him in there, and then after that, he told me that he can get one of my movies on Tubi if I come with a feature-length movie. So I wrote Mark My Words, and then I told him, I said, I'm going to write this movie, and I was like, and I want to put you in it too, and make you the main character. But that was my strategic move, right? So I can lock him in, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know if he was going to be like, all right, I'll do this movie, and then, don't do it, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm going to put you in the movie and make you the main character. That way he ain't got no choice to put it on there. You know what I'm saying? He got no choice. So he was like, all right, man, we're going to get it going. So we did the movie. They got my homeboy KK from Second to None up in there.
Yeah.
I got Rick Hard in there as the main character. And a bunch of other actors and talented actors that have played in Tubi movies too. I don't know how I pulled that off, but while this movie is being made, I've been on Tubi watching movies, and I'm like, dang, that's that person I just got in the movie. Oh snap! So that's gonna be on Tubi in about a few months. It's called Mark My Words, and then I'm gonna be working on another one called Ready to Kill, and then I got a thriller. Like a suspense thriller that I'm gonna work on called One Night in Dark Hollywood, and it's gonna be like a part 2 for One Night in Black China, because we shot that in Chinatown. So this one is gonna be called One Night in Dark Hollywood, where it's gonna be about a chick, that works a dead end job somewhere in the desert, right?
Uh-huh.
And all she do is watch social media and watch TV and movies, and she fantasizes about being in Hollywood, right, in movies and being a star, right? So one day a person walks in their store, like in their little, gas station store, fast food joint, and he looks like he's a producer, and then she, asks him what he does, and he tells her he's a producer. So she's like, wow, I want to be an actress, and he's like, oh really? So he's gonna give her the number and tell her he can, make her star in Hollywood. So she believes him, thinks about it. The next day she packs up her car and drives to Hollywood. and she's gonna be coming from like Arizona or New Mexico or something like that.
Okay.
So she's gonna drive to Hollywood, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's what's up, dude. I want to wrap it up real quick, but before that, I gotta knock this.
First of all, nigga, let's get a few things straight. The way
Yeah.
all mine's coming straight from the gate. I don't give a fuck about no friend. I came and shut shit down. So stay the fuck about my way, you gonna get hit with this
Yeah.
round. I be tripping off these niggas that be saying they the horse. To me, on CMG, most these niggas is garbage. Shit never got me started. Yeah, the gangster back. The hardest nigga you ever heard on these gangster.
Shout out Lil Hawk, man. I love that scene, dog. I want everybody in my audience to go check out Stranded in the Bottoms from ING Films on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because it sounds like my dude has a lot coming up. Are you on Instagram? I'm assuming you're on Instagram, and give your Instagram and everything before we
Yes, I am on Instagram. Just type in Pharaoh Shannon. That's FARROWSHANNON. Also, you can, I got another Instagram, ING Films 100. That's ING Films 100. And y'all can tap in and see all the content we got going on there. Upcoming events, upcoming movies. If y'all want to be in movies, you know what I'm saying, just tap in with the Instagram, DM me, and we'll get you in some films. You know what I'm saying?
Fear none, dude. It's been a pleasure. This is only part one, man. I'm gonna have you on in a couple weeks for a, just to talk about your life and things like that. So I'll get with you on offline. I want to appreciate you for coming on, man, and wish you the best of luck and everything, dude.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, dog. Talk to you soon, man.
All right, thanks.
Peace, man. There it is. There it is. Make sure you guys subscribe to ING Films on YouTube, ING Films, and check out Stranded in the Bottom, starring Lil Hawk YG from Bangin' on Wax, man. I'm going to get the heck out of here. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.